Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Big Fat Psychic channel. I'm so pleased to be reading again for you today. Okie dokie, so I forward to an interesting one. So we're going to start with, you probably guessed now, did Meghan ever float her Moonbump in front of the Queen? So it's, hopefully gonna reveal itself. So, yeah. Well, did the Queen ever witness Meghan wearing a Moonbump? So we're going to transform, so obviously for her to look pregnant. I do think this is the case, okay, before Harry and Meghan left. Yeah, I do feel, this is what changed the whole dynamic, the Queen said it's not on, it's not on. Why are you doing this? It was like, once Meghan appeared to be pregnant, they... her attitude, changed to the royals. It's like, I don't know if it happens now, but, some women are really, really nice to get what they want, like the wedding and all like that, and acceptance. And then she changed, it was like overnight. But it wasn't overnight, it was just that the Queen was willing on several occasions, to put things down to error with Meghan. It wasn't until the end that she, I think she told somebody how evil she was. So I would say, yeah, that's when things went haywire. So how did, because don't forget, it wasn't just in person. It was all over the media. And if if everybody, if anybody thinks that this wasn't going to get back to the Queen, then they're mistaken. So once, what did the Queen think of, Meghan wearing a bump? I think the Queen, tried to see the innocence of this, denying to herself what was truly going on. And in fact, it was far, far worse. It wasn't just Meghan, enjoying and exaggerating, her bump. So I feel like the Queen knew something was off practically from the beginning, because none of their actions make sense. How did the Queen feel about Harry and Meghan not listing their doctor on the birth certificate or announcement? There's that bloody, red coat, purple dress. Kind of think that day she realised, that they've been had. So Harry and Meghan definitely did not seek advice, did not involve the Queen. As far as, the Queen was aware, a woman delivered the baby. A top-notch woman, you know. She didn't want, Meghan didn't want the doctors on offer. No, no, no. She'd found somebody who was perfect. Oh, that's what she said. How did the Queen feel about, you know, stories of surrogates being all over the internet? That they're absolutely right. They knew more than her. You know, we paid more attention. So yeah, that was right. Our judgment is correct. The announcement, there was something wrong with the announcement as well. I think, you know, everything was leading up. It's, you know, with the Queen in this Moonbump, okay, the only example I can think of is that my son came back one day. He's balding like his dad. And he came back and he had a head full of hair. And I went, your hair looks great, you know. So he said, I said, how did he, you know, do that? Because my son had a bit of eczema as well on his head. I went, how did they do that? He went, I went to see a real good hairdresser. So I was like, because it, you know, it looked that good. I was like, oh, give us the name. You know, where is it? And I'll go. And he's kind of brushed it off, you know. Turns out later on he was wearing some kind of hairpiece, and everybody was laughing at me because I never noticed, you know, and everybody else did. Oh, didn't you know? No, I didn't, you know. But I did wonder, you know, I went to give him a kiss. He kind of stepped back, and I remember it because I thought, is he rejecting me? Have I upset him? And yeah, so that was why. So I definitely didn't see it, and I feel that's you know, the Queen's energy, you know, that she didn't see it neither. Of course she was brought to, you know, it was brought to the Queen's attention because it was pretty damaging. You know, what conversation did she have with Harry about this? Don't forget, she'll have been frightened, you know, if she felt she'd stepped out of line, or that they'd see it as that. So, yeah, what conversation did the Queen have with Harry? I think that's why they left. You know, she was running from the surrogate, but is it rather the surrogate story? She wanted to be at peace with Harry. She just didn't want him, you know. She was good about it all. She was good. I think there's an element of surprise here as well for the Queen and Harry leaving, because it looks like it wasn't entirely the Queen's decision, but Meghan's. You know, what conversation did the Queen have with Meghan about the Moonbump? That you're lying to people, you're causing us a lot of anxiety. This isn't going to be well received, because they never did things properly, and it still shows now that they don't do things in the correct order. And I definitely think, the Queen didn't want to see her ever after again because of this. So when did so was the Queen aware that they used a surrogate? Absolutely. And you know what? The Queen was worried for Harry, okay, not about the country, but for Harry, and also the Constitution, which was that, they're going to get found out. Definitely going to get found out. They'll be caught out, and they'll, it'll cause eruptions, really, just more hassle that the Queen didn't need. I think she found Meghan vicious. But the Queen told Harry in no uncertain terms that this will not stay between us for long. Eventually it's going to catch up with you. She also knew how bad it could look on her and the other royals. So damaging, so damaging. And she worried about, the surrogate coming forward as well. What reason did Meghan give the Queen an excuse to use a surrogate? Well, before the wedding, she could have a baby because she told Harry she was pregnant. And then just, conveniently, before the wedding, she suffered a mishap. You know what I'm saying, do you? A mishap. And then it was too dangerous. It's how she did it, that's how she did it with Archie, and it's how she did it with Lilibet. I've said Lilibet because I'm talking about the Queen. I wouldn't normally, I'd say Lily. Yeah, so, Meghan creating a lot of untruths. Did the Queen feel like, that it was intentional? So, did the Queen ever consider that Meghan and Harry was doing this, or certainly Meghan, to make the royal family look bad and in trouble? Did the Queen believe, Meghan? Well, basically, the minute the Queen became aware of this situation, then she withdrew from them both. It was as if she didn't want to be in any part of it. So what was going through, the Queen's mind when her and Philip was supposedly pictured with a mother photographer looking at Archie. What was the Queen thinking then? That photo is not real. And she was well bloody pissed off as well. You know, without her knowledge, without her position, it never, ever happened, okay? The Queen was not there in a joint photo with Meghan and Archie. And the reason why, because she would never, ever, she's not stupid, you know, was she? She would know exactly what Meghan was up to. And by getting her in a photo, to make the Queen look bad, you know, like she was in on it as well right from the beginning. The Queen absolutely knew this and saw where Meghan was coming from. And I have to say, if she wasn't in the picture and she saw the picture, she was furious. Furious. So that's how they've tried to drag the Queen into it as well with you know, that picture. I know in the end the Queen had no time for her anyway, you know. But what did the Queen think about Harry, you know, being involved, going along with all this? He told her, you know, that she couldn't have children. Now, I'm telling you now, that's on the back of her making up that she had a miscarriage. So that is why. That's exactly how it played out, you know. Oh, doctor said I'll have to use a surrogate because I can't carry, you know, a child full time. And, you know, we have miscarriages. Nobody is going to wish that on anybody. You know, Harry would do anything for Meghan, and he has done, you know, he's cut off his family, he slagged them off, called them racist, moved to the other side of the world, and spends, you know, his time smoking and drinking, and whinging, and whining. Her name gives me a metallic taste in my mouth. Why did the Queen never just bring it out into the open? Unfortunately, you know, Philip's death, and then her health worsened, and then you know, with Harry, she didn't want to send him over the edge, and in a way, you know, it wasn't her. She felt it wasn't her place to tell. You know, this has an awful effect on their children, and it will. I'll tell you what, she did try and find their doctor. She did find the doctor, so and then I'm getting you know, kind of laid to rest. Did the Queen attempt to call a doctor who was apparently had given birth to Archie? Absolutely. Uh, uh, so I don't know if it was at night when this come out, but in the morning, the minute she was aware, yes, she was more than happy to contact this one, okay, this surrogate, Archie's surrogate, Archie's doctor. So this was so she knew before, and then I'm getting kind of information coming out from America. The time's wrong. The date of birth is wrong. Which would probably be why, there was no record of Meghan or Archie for that day. Did the Queen ever meet Archie? She was she had to hold back, because at the end of the day, you've got to protect their monarchy and her reputation. And it was clear that, Meghan and Harry was going to break her back if they could. There was always on a case, always on a back, but not to see him, not to see him. I do see her going out, and she's got all her, is it like reindeers as such? I see like animals that she used to go to in with grass. So did she pass it? She may have had to pass wherever it was they were. It's as if Harry wanted to show Archie off. Did the Queen manage to track down the surrogates? Well, she didn't, but one of the courtiers did. He's most effective in digging up dirt and everything. So, this guy informed her. I knew she'd be trouble. I knew she'd be trouble. So the Queen's last dying wish, okay, and it could have been a day before, tell us about their thoughts. How did the Queen feel about Harry and Meghan's fake pregnancy? That is going to lose it all. He's going to lose it all. And that he's brought it upon himself, But it is actually because of all this, and especially with Meghan. Of course, she didn't want to be around, she had to get a Moonbump on and didn't want anybody to see it or, wise up. Kind of feel, you've lost everything and you deserve it. You brought this on to yourself, Harry. And that was, it wasn't the Queen saying, it's my fault. It's not, it was Harry's. Harry was the Queen's grandson. So why should he not take ownership? Why should Meghan be allowed... why should she get moaned about this and criticised? when Harry was in on it too. You know, he's not an innocent bystander at all. He enabled all this. But we'll do a reading on the next few royals, actually, seeing if they saw anything. So yeah, I think she did. I think you know, first couple of times, you know, she rocked up with a Moonbump and would have queried the fact that it looked a lot bigger last time than it does now, and a lot bigger now than it was, you know. The Queen did not, you know, want dragging into this situation. There was going to be no pictures at all. Now, don't tell me that the Queen was stood there and let somebody take a photograph of her with Archie, which is the last thing she would ever have done. Couldn't be seen to be embroiled. Okay, guys, interesting. I'll be back soon with another reading. Bye now. Bye-bye.